Hit me with questions. These are kind of like what I like to do here is a little bit different than like pre-market prep. I'm guessing a lot of you are on pre-market prep. We get very into like the technicals, the plays of the day. That's I go live every day, 8:30 Eastern, and a little more. I guess I would say technical, more like chart patterns, more interpreting the news, etc. What I like to do here is get a little more big picture, like talk about maybe mindset or like what you're struggling with or some of the stuff to go over recently last couple days. Man, yesterday, CDLX, just probably the best Oracle play from yesterday. What I love about CDLX yesterday was we had BFRG. BFRG was an incredible morning runner, but a lot of halts. It had a pretty wide spread. It ran right at the market open and halted a bunch. Kind of tough for newer traders. But like what was great about CDLX, and go back and look at that chart yesterday. Just a great gap up, kind of consolidated, and then didn't hit the Oracle signal till about 10:45. So much more like newer trader friendly. And then today, IFRX, man, like what pretty cool with IFRX. There were basically four different opportunities to trade IFRX. And last night, well, not last night, yesterday afternoon, Breaking News dropped the news on IFRX. Was a great runner. Now listen, I saw COVID. Like this is a good point. Like something you'll hear. This is another quote that I borrowed. But it's okay to be wrong, but don't stay wrong. Okay. And like last night, when the Breaking News hit, like what I did, and this is a good lesson. I immediately kind of downplayed IFRX at 2 p.m. yesterday because I saw COVID, okay? And I'm like, COVID? I'm like, gee, I mean, listen, we had our COVID stock run, but it's like, geez, it's spring 2023. So I was kind of dubious of IFRX. Now, what I overlooked was FDA emergency used for terminally ill patients. So like where I was thinking like COVID, I was thinking just like kind of whatever, it's like COVID treatment or whatever. But this thing like helps people on their deathbed. So anyway, after hours, changed my opinion, was a great runner. Then Oracle nailed it this morning. And then this afternoon, there were basically four opportunities to trade IFRX. And probably the best one was kind of that midday move. So love those midday moves, especially for newer traders. What does the coin symbol next to tickers in Oracle mean? Now, I'm guessing what you're asking about. It does look like a coin. So, Amy, it's not a coin. It's a yellow S is what that is. Okay. So, actually, let me know, Amy. Are you talking about the yellow S? Okay. I'm guessing you are. If I'm wrong, correct me. What the yellow S denotes is a stock under the SSR, okay? The short sale restriction, aka the uptick rule, okay? And that is, it used to be, like it's funny how the market always changes. Like I specifically requested to have the SSR indicator added to stocks to trade. It used to be we would always look to one of the main strategies we had 6-7 years ago was to dip buy stocks on the SSR, okay? And what the SSR is, any stock down more than 10%, okay? So now you can Google this as well. It's the SSR, also known as the uptick rule. And the SSR is triggered by a stock that is down by 10% or more intraday, 9:30 to 4 Eastern, okay? And when that happens for 3 days, You can only short an uptick. Okay? Now, again, I know it's confusing, okay? But one more time, if a stock is down more than 10% intraday, 9:30 to 4, doesn't matter in pre-market, doesn't matter in after hours, then the uptick is on, and a lot of people misinterpret it because they think you can't short the stock because the name is stupid, okay? As always, keep in mind, the SSR is a government regulation by the SEC or FINRA or somebody. What do I always say? What's the first thing I will always say when it comes to government regulations? My boy Ronald Reagan, he's my boy. Many great quotes, but my favorite Ronald Reagan quote is, I'm surprised no one's typing it. What's my favorite Ronald Reagan quote? Here it is. The 9 most dangerous words in the dictionary are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. So the SSR is stupid, and it sounds stupid because it says short sell restriction. So all new traders think that these stocks cannot be shorted. That's not right. You can only short an uptick. Okay. Now, I'm probably just confused you because all stuff with shorting stocks confuses new traders. I get it, especially stuff like the SSR and borrows and locate fees and all this crap. So anyway, at these days, the short answer is we don't really care because no one really targets the SSR anymore. I mean, I'd like to know if the SSR is on, but it doesn't really change any of my actions. So, see, this is the bummer. Like that I feel like it necessitated a 5-minute answer. That's one of the biggest hassles with short selling. And listen, I was a short bias trader for 9 years, okay? But it's just everything with shorting is backwards. And because you're doing everything backwards. And there's all these rules, all these regulations, all these fees. So it's just like, and listen, I am not anti-short selling, okay? I was 90% a short seller for 9 years, okay? It's just there's so much overhead. Like there's so much more to think about. And as a new trader, you have enough to think about. It's just more, okay? What in the world happened with SCAMX stock? Buru, great news with the DOD, and it just crapped. Carl, listen, Buru, we talked about it. We knew what that thing was. It was the worst. It's a SCAMX. Carl, at the end of the day, you basically answered your own question. Like, seriously. It's a piece of crap, okay? So the reason it died is it never initiated the short squeeze. And actually, I got my notes right here, okay? So it never hit the short squeeze level, so it was never a trade, okay? So right there's the notes from this morning, okay? It checked every box. BURU is disgusting. Blah! Worst stock in the world. I talked about the fact that it should be. Remember, BURU was today's BFRG. It just never hit the short squeeze. So it's a piece of trash. Who cares? Let it die. Hey, again, and the point I'm making, again, Carl, the first part of what in the world happened with the SCAMX stock? You kind of answered your own question right there. Peter, listen, when it comes to spotting a false breakout, understand it's been a little bit of a choppy week. And can you give me the stock? Like Peter, and understand I'm here to answer questions and I'll give you everything I got. But if you can give me the ticker and the day and like the time of day, it definitely helps me because, and I'm not saying it's a bad question. There are no bad questions. There's bad children. Slap those little buggers. Anyway, it's a joke. Anytime, that's my same dad joke. Because, anyway. Nobody laughed. But there are no bad questions. But like there's a lot of variables there. Okay. What was the volume? What was the sector? Was there float rotation? What was the overall market doing? Okay. So hit me the ticker, the time, etc., and I can elaborate. Okay. And at the end of the day, like, listen, here's the deal. At the end of the day, you had a stop loss. Peter, you are better than like 80% of traders out there. Because you know what? You know what, Peter? You know what? Guess what, Peter? You got stuck in a failed breakout, but you stopped out. Like, here's the deal. You like Peter, and I get where you're coming from. Like, you don't like the fact that you took a loss. Nobody does. Okay? Nobody likes losing money. If you like losing money, you're a psychopath. Okay? You are a crazy person. You should be locked away for life if you Now listen, one of my favorite quotes is the Ed Sykota quote. Another quote. Ed Sykota quote is, and I will butcher it, but I will paraphrase. Listen, some people like to lose, aka psychopaths. But the point Ed Sykota makes is some people simply like to lose. Like, that's why people will lose their entire savings at like the casino, and they just keep going back. They get some sort of sick satisfaction out of it. So the Ed Sykota quote is, some people like to win. They like to lose money, so they win by losing money. You're not that. You took the loss, okay? A lot of people, most new traders, are, whatever the stock is, I don't know the ticker. Most people are still in it. You took the stop. You recognized the fake breakout. That is a good thing. Now, this is something I talk about in the Steady Trade team a lot. Listen, I don't expect you to throw a party, okay? You don't get home I'm in a detached home office. This is a separate building from the main house, okay? Like, if I lose money, okay, I don't walk across the driveway, go into the house and be like, hey, Mrs. Bowen, woohoo, I lost money today. Now, I don't expect you to be happy about it, but it's part of trading. And the fact that you took that loss puts you ahead of like 80% of traders. What's the future of AI? All consuming, like the Matrix. Okay. You want to know the future of AI? Watch the Matrix. Okay. Now, I'm guessing you're asking about the stocks. Okay. So now listen, it's rough with AI, the stock. Remember, AI is the market leader. It got a big haircut the last couple days, but the crazy thing is AI still held support. Okay. So what we're looking for, so basically what we're looking for is that reclaim of, so it held that lower level again today, man. So bring up the chart, guys. Look at that bounce a couple weeks ago when it held 21, and it's right there today. I think we start to grind back off of this. And if AI, the stock, C3 AI, starts grinding higher, all the other ones are going to follow it. Again, man, what time of day? Monday this thing was ridiculous on Monday. So again, Peter, if you could, one more request. If you could, what time of day? Sorry, I keep bugging you, but what's your thoughts on DWAC? Please stay away. It's DWAC. Listen, it had its day in the sun. It had many days in the sun. DWAC is so full of bag holders, okay? No. Now, as always, price action trumps everything, but DWAC is just, like if you watch, okay? If you watch, every time DWAC gap, like this is something, this is your research project. Watch every time DWAC gaps up. It fades all day. Now, it doesn't fade all day because the company's bad or whatever. The reason it fades all day is when you have a stock that is absolutely loaded with years of bag holders, they all sell the gap up, okay? Like a great example is weed stocks, okay? If you ever wonder why I hate weed stocks so much, there is literally a decade. Like the first big weed stock run was literally, I think it was 2014. We're talking a decade. And that is why every, like weed stocks are a great, every time you see weed stocks gap up, they fade all day. And it's not the news, it's not the company, it's just there's so many people that are stuck at a higher price that when you get a gap, they create selling pressure. So remember, the market is a market, buyers and sellers. So if you like what would you do? Okay? Like what would you do if you were holding some stock, you were holding a loser for like 2 years and it gaps up 30%? What would you do after you have, and I don't even care what price you're in, okay? I don't care what price you're in. What do you do after you hold for 2 years and it goes lower every day and it gaps up 30%? I know what you're going to do. I know what I would do. I'd sell, okay? So that's why DWAC, every time it gaps, it trickles lower. And then a month later, it gaps and trickles lower. So GFAI at 1:20 p.m. All right. Man, I mean, it's just, listen, crazy volatile stock, man. Crazy volatile stock. So you're going to hate me. What's the name? Is it Peter? Peter's going to hate me. Yep, Peter, prepare to hate me. Listen, this thing had $14 of range. Okay? $14 of range. The low of the day was 8. The high of the day was basically 22. You're going to get stopped on these stocks. I mean, look at later in the day. I mean, and I'm sure you know, Peter, at 2 p.m. it exploded all the way up to $20. But you have to stick to your plan. I say you made the right decision. I mean, I see those 2 huge red candles, but I say good trade, man. You took the break in the hottest stock. Here's the deal, Peter. This was the hottest stock of Monday. Everyone was trading GFAI Monday. You traded the best stock and you traded a good chart pattern and you got stopped. Just a lot of range on this thing. I mean, look at it now. It's all the way back to 9, okay? So, I don't know. I say well done. So, I mean, it was the best stock Monday. I mean, it opened at 8 and went to 22. You traded the best stock. It's just you got stopped. So, thank you, Peter. All right, guys, I do need to run. It's almost 7. Man, it's been a busy week. Ugh, man. So many trades, so many webinars, a lot going on this week. I'm still feeling that I flew back from Florida last week and I didn't get in till like 3 a.m. Sunday, Monday morning. So, and then this is how dumb I am. So I get home at like 2 a.m. Monday morning. By the time I get to bed, it's 3 a.m. So this is how dumb I am. I get back up at 4:45 a.m. to work out with my personal trainer at 5:30 a.m. That's how stupid I am. I should have slept in, but anyway, and then I trained again yesterday morning. And so I'm still like feeling the effects of freaking Sunday night and getting 1 hour of sleep. So, all right, guys, have a great day, great night. Alex will drop the link to pre-market prep. Would love to see you there in the morning. And good stuff tonight. I enjoyed this. Great questions. So, yeah, all right. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you next time.